Dear Cancer.
Dear Cancer.
Dear Cancer. Scratch that. You're not my dear.
It's been 10 years since we met.
358 days.
5 short years.
You made this personal when you took my father.
You made life sad and hard.
We kicked you out of my father's life, but you're not gone, and neither am I.
You are not in my family, but this is still personal.
You made him stronger and wiser than any 11-year-old should be.
You could take my hair, my weight, and try to erase me, but you couldn't take my spirit.
I will never forgive you for the countless friends and patients you have pulled under the waves.
As long as you keep showing up in my clinic, I'll keep showing up in my lab.
I will tell everyone I know about you, about what you've done.
Every day we figure out something else that makes you tick. And one day, we'll make you stop ticking altogether.
Like Ahab after the white whale, I have my sights on you. And now that we have sunk our harpoons into you, I will never let go.
It's sometimes thought of as being naive to say you want to cure cancer. That's something that a child dreams of. Well, what if you just held on to that dream? What if you didn't allow people to talk you out of it? The only way you're going to do something like cure cancer is if you say out loud that's what you're trying to do.
I'm tired of this sort of get out of jail free card that a lot of us use and saying, we're just going to manage this. I don't believe in that, actually. We need cures, we need to solve this problem, and we're on the precipice of doing that. There are some research programs here that look very, very good, and other people have noticed, and they're coming to learn what we're doing here.
We are so far ahead of 5 years ago, and even farther than 10 years ago. I mean, the whole landscape is changing so fast that it's hard to even remember what it was like 5 years ago.
In April 2011, I went down to Florida for my spring break. Of course, just thought I was vacationing on the beach until I got these excruciating headaches. It wasn't here where I could feel it out. I wasn't prone to a lot of migraines. I wasn't used to the feeling of a headache. It was somewhere in my brain. And it was as if someone was really wringing it and letting go. I had to have 2 brain surgeries. I was diagnosed with a medulloblastoma desmoplastic. A lot of people get diagnosed and this is the end. But for me, it wasn't gonna be the end because I don't have a choice in this. If everyone else is willing to watch along this journey and help however they can and sit by my side, bring me tea, donate money for my treatment, if all of them are willing to do that, I have no choice but to try my best. I went on vacation thinking I was having spring break, getting some sun, and then I was diagnosed with cancer at 22. I packed a suitcase of beach attire, sundresses, and bathing suits. I planned for beach. I didn't plan for cancer.
I never actually realized how much I would like the doctor part of being a doctor, and I really like the fact that I'm able to do both things because that keeps the interest in science fresh. It's why, why are we doing science? It's because I saw a patient in clinic who still has cancer.
Taking care of a patient one at a time will help that patient that's sitting in front of you at that moment, but really to make an impact on not just that patient, but all the other patients to come, you need to be in the laboratory.
It only matters at the end of the day if I can bring something new to a patient, if I can tell them I have something today that I didn't have yesterday.
And no matter how much you learn or how much you train, we're all people, and we're all in this together, and that I learned from my patients.
We told the kids probably 2 weeks after we got the initial diagnosis. We didn't use the word cancer. We just told them that that Mama was going to be sick for a while. And Abby, excuse me. Abby was 8, and she looked us right in the eye and said, "Is it cancer?"
I was scared, but not too scared. I thought it would probably be all right. My mom didn't seem like there was ever a problem she couldn't tackle.
She was the best person, the nicest, the most caring, the kindest. She was just perfect.
We got connected with the Hutch and SCCA by asking a lot of questions. Elizabeth's medical team was just amazing. I did not expect to become as close to them as we did. From the nurses to surgeons to her oncologists, we really, I felt like we were a close team. I think they felt the same way.
It had some impact on me and on James. I mean, you know, why isn't your mom picking you up? Because she's getting chemo. But she and my dad both tried really hard to keep it from changing too much of our day-to-day life.
I didn't know what was going to happen. So it was extremely hard.
Sort of the most momentous part of the treatment was her decision to do the stem cell transplant. That was it was a bigger ordeal than we thought it was going to be. The upside is we were able to travel a lot and do a lot of the things that maybe we would have put off for a number of years.
I think she was a fantastic force in shaping the person who I am today, and I wish she was still around to keep doing that for us.
I'm thinking about what these treatments bought us, bought her. And it bought us, as I said, it bought us 4.5 years of life together.
Everybody at Fred Hutch just working as hard as they can, bringing her keeping her with us as long as they can.
I will forever be grateful for the amount of extra time we got.
Thank you for doing basically everything to make her stay here as long as she did.
Pancreas cancer for me is personal. It's about settling a score. When I was just finishing my clinical training, my father was diagnosed with this disease, and I ultimately ended up providing care for him. And to this day, it remains the biggest failure of my life that I wasn't able to save him. The thing for me is that I'm pissed. I'm still pissed. I'm angry. And that's what I channel. And that doesn't sound happy, but it's what fuels me. It's truly a vendetta. That's all this is. And that doesn't feel enlightening. That doesn't feel like the inspiration that we're supposed to follow. But you know what? It's incredibly motivating.
16 months ago, I was diagnosed with cancer. What was going through my mind is, how do we find the best resources we can as quickly as possible? Fortunately, we have a good friend at the Hutch. And she helped us. They just give so much to so many. The encouraging thing that we all came to understand as a family is that stage 4 is a number, and stage 4 can be managed. We're so thankful to the Hutch and everything it means.
I am just pinching myself every day when I walk into this building to see the kind of scientists that are here, the kind of support people that we have. It is just a treasure trove of knowledge, inspiration, and everything, and every other word in that category. One of the coolest things about the Hutch is that I'm literally the dumbest guy here.
Matthew was our first child. He was like 10 days shy of turning 10 when he was diagnosed. They showed us his scans and showed us his tumor and said that this is as bad as it gets. 80% of these children with this tumor will die within 12 months, and the other 20% will be gone within 18 months. You almost can't believe it because you look at him and he looks fine, and so it's hard to believe that there's something that wrong going on inside his head. We had a friend who lost her husband to brain cancer a month before Matthew turned 11. And I remember having a talk with Matthew and telling him what had happened, and he said, "That makes me scared." And I said, "What scares you?" And he said, "Because that means that people can die from brain cancer." And I said, "It scares me too." He was worried about, will I be alone? and we can tell him, no, you will never be alone. We will not leave your side. He was worried about, will you remember me afterwards? And we were able to promise him, we will always remember you. He was worried about how we would be after. And so that one we just lied and said, we'll be okay. I don't think there's any one thing that I miss most about Matthew. I miss everything about him. I miss his laugh. I miss how loud it was in our house. Our family is not the same without him. He has left a hole in this world that will never be able to be filled.
At a place like the Fred Hutch, the standard is not delivering the best quality of care that you can today. We expect that of ourselves. That's the automatic. The standard here is to define tomorrow's care.
I actually looked up my symptoms in a medical encyclopedia, and I was pretty sure that I had colon cancer. The scan told me I was already stage 4, so I had 7 tumors already in my liver. So, you know, not knowing anything about cancer, I didn't know if stage 4 was, you know, is there a stage 5? I didn't want to look up the statistics or read the statistics. I was scared, you know, I didn't want to leave my kids. We all know we're going to die, but cancer kind of gives you this very, like it could be, you know, right away. People come to the Hutch to be treated because they want to live and they want the best shot at living. I was so lucky to be treated here and know the only reason I'm alive today is because I was treated here. So I had a 5% chance of making it 5 years, and I'm 10 years in February. I really wanted to see all my kids graduate from high school, and I've got to do that this June.
Dear Cancer.
Dear Cancer.
Dear Cancer.
You were not wanted.
We're coming for you.
You've struck fear in too many people for far too long.
You caused my son's death. That makes you a murderer.
How dare you?
It's time to return the favor.
You will pay. Tonight, I'm coming for you.
It is just tremendously important to support cancer research, and in particular the research at the Hutch.
The Hutch is right here. So if you live here, you have the power to make a difference.
The funding is going down for research. We're on the brink of, you know, new discoveries. There's so much to be done, but we need money to fund it.
You know, not only is the science exploding and fantastic things are happening, but the NIH is pulling back.
The discoveries that we've made, the ones that have mattered the most, have actually been funded by what we call unconventional sources.
I think venture capitalists, when we hear that term, we're always thinking about people that are trying to birth companies, start something fresh that's technology related or some such thing like that. But there could be venture capitalists on life.
Partners is how we view them, who want to help us in this fight against the disease, who want to help us combat it, who are as impatient as we are.
People that go out of the norm and fund something somewhat speculative but shows promise, those people are literally saving lives when they do that.
We can make a difference tonight at the Hutch by giving what we're capable of giving. My hope is that we could give another 10%. You know, at $100, let's give 110. At 1,000, let's do 1,100. At 100,000, let's do 110,000. And at 1,000,000, let's go to 2. Oh, I wasn't very good in math.
One of the things Elizabeth asked me in her last couple of days is, would I mind if, I might not be able to do this part. Would I mind if we gave to the Hutch? Just sort of a silly question. Because of course I don't mind. You know, the Hutch is a mix of terrific, compassionate care through SCCA and cutting-edge hard science. It's not about pink ribbons and awareness. It's about finding a cure. And Elizabeth was passionate about that from from the beginning, and so it's an easy decision for us to give to the Hutch.
I went through an experience where a future was unclear. And I'm here today knowing that a future is possible. Right now, I can't make a huge donation, but I can be here. I can talk about it. I can help you decide that it's the right thing to donate what you have. That's my future. I can make a difference.